Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the South Derbyshire series, a district of Derbyshire which stretches from Leicestershire to Staffordshire, containing 50 civil parishes. Here's one of them for you. Welcome back to South Derbyshire, everybody. Now, do you remember Church Broughton, a village we've already covered in this district of Derbyshire? You might do. On the side of the pub there was a handy little map which showed you everything that was in Church Broughton, and here in this one there's a similar one too. Here we go, look, here is said map. This is very similar to Church Broughton, in fact, actually, because it's a nice little circle. Now, I am currently... let me just work out where I am here. I think I am there. Yeah, I think I'm there. Not totally sure, but I think I'm there. And all I'm doing really is going all the way around the circle. And that's it. And that circle is around a place called Lullington. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like, and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Continuing along the Derbyshire-Staffordshire border, today we're in Lullington, an attractive and remote southern Derbyshire village situated just over a mile from the Mease Valley and 7 from Burton-upon-Trent. It has a modest population and is laid out in almost a perfect square shape. Local amenities here include a village hall, a pub and a cricket club. In the Domesday Book, Lillington was recorded as Lullitune, and at that time it had a priest, a church and a mill. There's a lot of buildings here that make reference in some small way to the local landowning family, the Colvilles. These include the pub, which is named the Colville Arms, the old school, which was built by them in 1843, and even a local creamery, which used to be a gasworks that served Lullington Hall, the grand mansion where they resided. The most notable man in their number was a politician who was MP for South Derbyshire in the 1840s. Other features include the spire of the local church, which was rebuilt in 1776 and acts as a local triangulation point. It also has a brilliant little nickname, one that I never expected. Lullington has several times been awarded the title of Best Kept Village in Derbyshire in the population of under 500 category, and has also been a winner of the Britain in Bloom competition. Let's go for a walk around it, get to know it better, and see if it can also win any of your hearts. We begin this short route around Lullington at a detailed map which can be found at the western end of the village. It lists practically every house in the village and stands in front of a small enclosure with some bungalows. Next to these is the 16th century Colville Arms, a pub whose name is a reference to the Colville family, once of Lullington Hall. The Liberal politician Charles Robert Colville was MP for South Derbyshire in 1841 and High Sheriff of Derbyshire in 1875. Let's continue along Main Street, which in actual fact means I'm walking the opposite way to what I said earlier. No matter, all the good stuff will still be found, like for example Lullington's old post office, located here on this corner. There are no buses that serve Lullington these days. Effectively then now, this former shelter is a communal information point. And in the shelter there's a parish notice board. Mark off Lullington everyone, 5 down in South Derbyshire, 45 to go. There's some proper big houses here in Lullington. There's one right behind me, that's Lullington House. You can't really see it because obviously it's obscured by gates and trees and things like that. It's private anyway, so I wouldn't want to go any further than here. This is dead opposite the little green which you saw a moment ago where the phone box is, and you can see another big house over there. We're going to go down there in a moment, but first I need to take on the church, which is just next door to Lullington House. It's right here behind this tree. Let's go and check out that next. Lullington's church is dedicated to All Saints. The chancel, vestry, south aisle and north windows all date from 1861. There's a campaign running at the moment to raise £75,000 for repairs to its spire, which is nicknamed Lullington Spud. A brooch spire, it was rebuilt in 1776. It's often used as a triangulation point because it can be seen from miles away. All Saints Church was restored under the supervision of the architect John West Hugel and contractor Elliott and Lilly. Inside, its reredos is made from an alabaster slab which formed the old altar and is inlaid with Rouge marble and Derbyshire bluejohn. Opposite the church is an extension to the churchyard on the other side of an unnamed road that leads to Lullington Park. Lullington Park Cricket Club play there. They run 3 senior teams in the Derbyshire County League and they have junior sides too. And directly opposite the church you've got this fancy old building. Look at this. I love this. Isn't this amazing? Now this is Lullington's Village Hall, but of course it didn't used to be a village hall. This used to be something else. Can you guess what it is before I tell you? Lullington's Village Hall used to be a school. It was built in 1843 to hold 50 children, but on average only 33 attended. It's another building with direct links to the Colville family, as it was built by Charles Colville and it displays some family crests. It holds local village events such as a garden fete, children's parties and a community bingo. It can also be hired out privately too. Next to the hall there's a walled green area. I have no idea what this is, but I'd like to think maybe it was the school's old playing field. In front of the old post office there's a phone box. This has no phone, but it's been turned into the local book exchange. These flowers provide Lullington with a bit of colour, and standing over them is the wonderful Lullington Grange. We continue east and we're heading for a farm. Historically, the village would have had lots of farm workers. Many farms work the land surrounding Lullington Hall. Agriculture remains important here and Limes Farm is still active. Okay, the fourth and final section of the walk completes the loop of Lullington. This will take us back down Dag Lane to the Colville Arms where we began, and to that information board. Lovely little place, and again, a quiet place too. This is the point where Main Street begins to run off into the countryside. Our last street on the walk is Dag Lane. Here's Forge Garage, which as of 2021 ranked at number 65 of 103 garages in Derbyshire, according to the Good Garage Guide. Dag Lane has some very old farm buildings and associated houses, many of which make reference to a creamery. Some of the houses bear the names of former village trades. This one, for example, used to be a wheelwright's. Here's the creamery. It opened in 1906 and stands on the site of an old gasworks, reusing many of the former buildings. This house opposite is the old forge, which is pretty obvious given the horseshoe-shaped brick feature on its wall. The creamery capitalised on the local cheese industry, which was very well established in this part of Derbyshire. Okay, and we're back to the beginning outside the Colville Arms, and I do believe I've covered most, if not everything, that's on that little map. I think, anyway. There's one thing I know I haven't covered, and that's Lullington Hall. That's a little bit out of the village, but I will drive past that to finish. What a lovely little place this has been. Time to move on to the next one. Lullington Hall is private, but I can at least show you where it is. The hall was served by the old gasworks, which were the brainchild of the Colville family. The Colvilles also built a water tower as well, enabling a gravity-fed supply of water to the house. Now, just before we move on, there's a bit of time left for a special section. The farms which surround the village are currently growing potatoes, supplying major UK crisp company Walkers, or Lay's for our American friends. It's valuable agricultural land and has for the last 20 years been used to supply Walkers with millions of bags of crisps worth of spuds. However, that land is under threat. A company by the name of Lullington Solar Park Limited want to turn 173 acres of it into an extensive solar farm, but plans for this were rejected for the second time earlier this year. Government inspectors fear it would create an unacceptable indent in the high-quality, food-producing farming land. South Derbyshire District Council had rejected the plans last July, stating the farm would devastate local jobs and communities and leave a massive industrialised scar in the countryside. No doubt they'll try again, but for now, all those cheese and onion and prawn cocktail potato snacks are safe. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry now after talking about that. I wonder if the Colville Arms sells ready salted. See you later, folks. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.